So the purpose of this video is to describe how to use our study card to help us memorize our proof reasons. So first off, the proof reasons sheet on Schoology is a digital version of this. So if for any reason you've been absent and don't have the card that we actually got in class, you'll want to open that up. If you have a printer, I would suggest to print it out. And the card that we got in school, then we cut the right half where the blue lines are. So basically what we did is we cut here, cut here, cut here, and so on, so that we could fold back each of those tabs. So if you weren't in school, it'd be helpful for you to print it out. Again, it's right on Schoology, the proof reasons sheet to get this exact thing. Okay. As you're studying, again, what you want to do is you want to fold back the right side. See if looking at the left side, when you see just the left side, you can come up with the right side. Now, each of the arrows are read as implies. So for the first one, this is midpoint implies, and then you would want to be able to say two congruent segments. Then angle bisector implies two congruent angles. And that third one, that symbol is perpendicular. So we would read perpendicular lines imply, and then you would want to be able to say right angles. Next one, segment bisector implies midpoint. Isosceles triangle implies. Now the isosceles triangle will imply two different things. We could have two congruent sides or two congruent base angles. Altitude of a triangle implies perpendicular lines. Median of a triangle implies midpoint. Vertical angles implies congruent angles. Now the next two, what you want to be reading or thinking on the left side, what this picture is showing is we have two triangles that are sharing a side. So when we have two triangles sharing a side, we would say that that side BD is congruent to BD because it's the BD in the left triangle congruent to BD in the right triangle. And what you would have to come up with when you see something like that is knowing it's the reflexive property. And the next one down, if we have two things where notice there's two separate things congruent to CD. If two things are congruent to the same thing, then they're congruent to each other. So notice now we know AB is congruent to EF, and what you would want to be able to state is that's the transitive property. And then the last one, right angles implies, and then congruent angles. So studying on your own, fold back the right half, quiz yourself, see if you can read the left side, and then see if you can say out loud the right side, and then flip your tab out to see if you got it correct. It's also helpful to have someone else quiz you. So a parent, a sibling, a friend, have them fold back to one side, have them read the left, see if you can say the right side. So on our quiz 2 days, or on Wednesday will be, right at the start of class, I'm going to give you this, but the whole right side is going to be blank. And you're going to have to write those to fill them in. So make sure in addition to knowing how to say it, that you could write it just like we have written here. Any questions, feel free to email me and ask.